Hello Spider Ponies. I fulfill your wishes. According to the results of the Twitter poll, I'm back with another Spider-Man video. Today's episode of Wild Ponies Show has been brought to you by the letter L and the number 87. Let's start.
Number 1. Nobody cares about Spider-Man.
Yes, you care. You damage control this game since first announcement. You guys making videos. Therapy sessions podcasts. Writing petitions. Tweets. And posting shit in comments, forums, and other social media. This is the proof that you care. First hell for you bots.
Number 2. It's another Spider-Man game.
No, it's not. Previous Spider-Man games had poor review scores. And any other Spider-Man game never broke the record of sales. Insomniac Spiderman has a record. Fastest selling game of 2018. Spider-Man sold 3.3 million in 3 days.
Spider-Man is the fastest selling Marvel's video game. UK charts. Spider-Man is the fastest selling game of the year. Spider-Man is the fastest selling game of the year in the UK. UK sales charts. Spider-Man PS4 is the fastest selling game of the year. Marvel's Spider-Man sells 3.3 million units in 3 days, fastest selling PlayStation 4 exclusive. Marvel's Spider-Man tops the charts as the UK's fastest selling game of 2018 to date.
Are these the results of the average game? I think not. It's over bloody million per day. Sony exclusive game sells more copies in 3 days than Xbox fake exclusives in the whole lifetime. Xbots. Hold this L.
Number 3. Spider-Man will be delayed.
Classic Xbots song. Xbots always crying that Sony announces games without release date. That PS4 games are always delayed. I don't have a problem with that. I think the most of PlayStation fans do not have a problem, because these games are always good. Sony confirms what Shigeru Miyamoto said. A delayed game is eventually good, a bad game is bad forever. Since the first Spider-Man announcement, Xbots claimed that Spider-Man will be delayed. Even when the official release date was announced, Xbots still believed in the upcoming delay.
So I know they said 2018, but...
Hey Xbots. In which year Crackdown 3 was announced? Don't you remember? I remind you. 2014. Delay after delay, after delay, and one more delay, and what? Game still looks like shit. Sea of Thieves was delayed too. Xbots, hold this L. Wait a moment. Quantum Break was delayed too. And gathered fantastic scores. PC community also loved this game. What about Cuphead? Delayed too. Of course, these smart-ass fanboys could say that more PlayStation games have been delayed. But the reason is obvious, because Xbox has no games. There is nothing to delay. If you had only 3 games in whole year, and 2 of them were delayed, you can always say, wow, only 2 Xbox games has been delayed. Fantastic.
Number 4. Spider-Man has been downgraded.
Fanboys of insignificant platforms unleashed a shitstorm on the internet that Spider-Man has been downgraded. Of course, this shitstorm has been unleashed by those who claimed earlier that they don't care about another Spider-Man game. So, stupid fanboys, after watching the latest trailer, found that the game is downgraded because, in the 3-second scene, in one location, the one puddle disappeared, and Spider-Man costume doesn't look as good as looked in 2017. Of course, they ignored 20 other scenes from the same trailer, where everything looked fantastic. More details of the stupidity can be seen in my previous Spider video. Digital Foundry recorded the longest and the most detailed analysis video in their history. The video was long enough to be boring. However, the message was clear. Digital Foundry confirmed that Spider-Man hadn't been downgraded. Moreover, they said that game has been upgraded.
Those expecting confirmation of a downgrade to Marvel's Spider-Man when assessing final code should probably look away now. Having stacked up the final game against the E3 presentation, our overall conclusion is that Insomniac is on the money here. There have been changes, as there are during production of any game, but there has been no technical downgrade. In fact, we'd say that the final presentation is upgraded in key respects, both technical and artistic.
This verdict was expressed in the video material, in an article on the Eurogamer website, and even privately Digital Foundry employee wrote about it on the internet forum. Xbox, hold L number 4.
Number 5. Snowflakes.
Spider-Man was released, and all doubts disappeared. People see how the game really looks, and it became obvious that Xbots and other fanboys were spreading lies. So as of untruth have been unmasked, Spider-Man spoke for himself. Fraud came out on idiots, and became a public laughingstock. Then the same people who, without hesitation, deprecated the years of Insomniac's hard work, the same people who claimed the developer was lying, the same people who mocked PlayStation fans, suddenly turned into delicate, vulnerable snowflakes. They started crying on the internet that they are victims because they can't safely express an opinion on the internet. Yes, you can express your opinion. But guys, usually the opinion is formed on basis of your own subjective judgment, not made of shit and lies. Anyway, you can even lie on social media. This is how all social media works. You post, people comment. This is why there is a reply option when you want to comment on someone else's opinion, especially stupid opinion, or when you want to prevent misleading people. In the previous Spider video, I intentionally didn't mention who started the whole Puddlegate, because I knew that the author of this childish drama is an egocentric snowflake that will start crying even more. But when I saw his behavior before the release and after release of the game, I came to the conclusion that it's stupid to pity over this hideous liar. So I'm sorry that Coffee didn't show up in the previous video. What Coffee did? It is currently difficult to document what he did on the Twitter, because he deleted a lot of tweets, but some data still exists.
Nobody playing victim. I don't care, lol.
You gotta care if you deleted all your Spider-Man coverage.
Screenshot comparison came across my timeline, right? Then I seen this, right? So basically this is one screenshot of Spider-Man. As you guys can see, the game looks fucking amazing. I think this was shown in was an E3 trailer. As you guys can see, very, very detailed, like the lines on the ground, the markings, the puddles, the reflections. You know, the textures on Spider-Man's suit look really, really good, right? Then I seen another screenshot of the same spot, and it looked like this. Everything looked really matted. Everything looked really flat. Now I'm like, whoa!
Coffee could be wrong at the beginning. The old screenshot looks better. I do not have a problem with that.
But once I seen this screenshot, I'm like, whoa, hold up a damn minute. This is kind of spooky. This is a little spooky, right? But apparently, Insomniac is saying it's a different time of the day. But I still got some questions, though. Like, I got questions still, because they say it's a different time of the day, right? But then again, the shadows are in the exact same position, though. Like, that's what I'm just curious about.
Inspector X-Bot.
After Insomniac confirmed several times that downgrade is a myth. After the Digital Foundry employee said game wasn't downgraded. After Coffee publicly said in his video that he will have Spider-Man game copy before the official release date.
All fanboys are the fucking same, bro. Shit is crazy. But as you guys already know, I'm getting my copy of Spider-Man on the 5th. I'm getting my copy of Spider-Man early, and I actually booked off work to play Spider-Man.
After Coffee already played Spider-Man before the release and knew how this game looks out of this location, he still claimed that the game has been downgraded. He even created his own comparisons. Let's check how it looks for real. Pay attention to how this place looks like. This is the location, right next to the famous scene without one puddle. Also notice how the costume looks in the shadow and in the sun. Shadow. Sun. Shadow. Sun. Shadow. Sun.
Welcome to another episode of Press Start Podcast.
Later he accused Insomniac that his video from Spider-Man was removed from YouTube because Insomniac is angry for his opinion on downgrade. Or maybe you stupid idiot. You've uploaded material from the game that you shouldn't officially have. You uploaded Spider-Man's footage during embargo. Do you have early access to the game? Great. Shut your face and enjoy the game in the privacy of your basement. Of course, this fraud noticed the same thing as I noticed on my niche channel. Look how many views has my first Spider-Man video. Even on my tiny channel, Spider-Man generates huge traffic. The interest is really huge. People are watching a lot of materials about this game. Coffee knew that, and that's why he didn't stop spreading lies. He wanted more views, likes and clicks. He turned into clown just for a few cents of YouTube money. The second poor victim of the Puddlegate, the follower of Coffee, was an ex-bot. We know him for a long time. Guy who, what is even more funny, thinks he is neutral. This ex-bot is not only damn far from being neutral, he's so advanced in being an ex-bot that you can easily call him a corporate slave. I'm talking about this funny guy. Everyone calling him Kid Mooch because he's on the little kid level and he's an Xbox fanboy like Mooch. He didn't lie on the internet for clicks or for money, I'm sure. Look at his smile, the joy emanating from his face. when he is convinced that Spiderman has been downgraded.
Yo, apparently there's been a major Spider-Man downgrade, and these PlayStation fanboys do not want us talking much about it, but I'm sorry. I gots to.
Okay, as you wish. Let's talk. He did it for his beloved piece of plastic. For Xbox and Uncle Cancel. Look at this. So sweet. Idiot didn't change the song even after the release of the game. Even when many people said there is no downgrade, including Digital Foundry. Kid Mooch and Coffee gathered a wave of criticism. Then, they turned into snowflakes. These sensitive liars began to cry on social media that PlayStation fanboys handed them a package of golden L letters. Coffee started changing narration. He talked about changes, not about downgrade, and other smaller and bigger lies. Kid Mooch reached the bottom. He began to insult all PlayStation 4 users. Even he lied he never said about downgrade. They became a laughing stock. If someone puts on clown's robes, he shouldn't be surprised that people are laughing at him.
To those who respect an apology of Republicate, it's not happening. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I wasn't wrong. Digital Foundry said I wasn't wrong. Right?
Digital Foundry said I wasn't wrong. Right?
3, 2, 1, go! Spiderman, Spiderman, real Spiderman, real PlayStation, exclusive. Spiderman, Spiderman, real Spiderman.
Dear snowflakes, hold this L.
Number 6. Chasing pigeons.
Xbots are laughing at the chasing pigeons in Spider-Man. You idiots chasing chickens in Sea of Thieves. What's the difference? I thought you love Sea of Thieves. By the way, chasing pigeons is a one-side mission that doesn't define the whole game. There is no obligation to do it. So, if you think it's stupid, you can ignore this mission. You do not have to do it to complete the game. Another L to your collection.
Number 7. Vote people.
Xbots really wanted Spider-Man to fail. These idiots needed something. Like air for breathing. Something to appreciate this game. Even something small. The first attempt was to persuade people that Spider-Man is an unfinished game. I know, idiots. But, on the one hand they say Sony games are always delayed, And on the other hand they're saying that Sony pushed the game. Of course, Spider-Man has some bugs. Several videos with funny bugs circulated on the internet. Bugs and glitches can occur in any game, especially in the open world game. I have already completed the storyline, all side missions, collectibles. I have a platinum trophy. I spent about 60 hours in the game. At that time, I experienced only one bug. One of the side missions from the research stations didn't want to go any further, despite the fact that I did all the goals. Fortunately, restart from the last checkpoint fixed the problem, and everything was okay. I didn't encounter any graphics glitches. It is obvious that these glitches have taken place, but are marginal. However, Xbox didn't stop looking. And they found both people.
Man, I wish it was daytime. I wish it was daytime outside, because then you could probably see them a little bit better. Oh my gosh, we found it. Okay, we found the spot. Now I just gotta get some good angles of them. Brightness. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Brightness is at 50. We're gonna crank that soldier boy up to 100. Why not, right? There we go. There we go. Nice. Like, just lock onto those and get them. That would be amazing. Let me slow this footage down too, just so we can watch it together. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Here they are. Oh yes. Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Here's another pair. Oh, the boat people.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Screenshots of horrible looking models of people on the boat spread it. Of course, Xbox saw it as a glitch, later as an unfinished shit or laziness of Insomniac, and most importantly, the weakness of PlayStation 4. Of course, none of these idiots have any idea how game engines works. Insomniac easily could put on the boats the same models of people who walks on the streets. Same day it turned out that it is not a glitch and not developers' laziness. Both people are an Easter egg. It's a joke, a reference to Spider-Man game from year 2002. The deformed character models are supposed to parody 16 years old game. Anyway, this is confirmed by the date 2002 on the sales of the boats. Xbox humiliated themselves again. Take this huge L and kiss it.
The L number 8. Forza Horizon 4.
After Xbox laughed at boat people, a demo of Forza Horizon 4 arrived, with all glitches and cardboard people. And yes, they are not an Easter egg.
Attention units, pursuit in progress of multiple hostile vehicles. Location is Lower Chinatown.
Hey man, hold this L. Another nice L for your collection.
The L number 9. Spider-Man copy of Rice.
No, just kidding. It's not Rice. Spider-Man is a copy of Batman Arkham games series. These games have a lot of similarities, but as we talked on the Wild Ponies group, it's hard to make a superhero game that is very original. It results from two things. Superheroes are very similar to each other, and the special powers of some superheroes make it necessary to make some compromises to make the game playable and not too easy. Okay, forget about games for a moment. Let's go back to the comics. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man. The action of these comics mostly takes place in cities. All characters that I mentioned moves in the same way, by air. The technique is changing, but the action generally is seen from the same perspective. Buildings, roofs. Well, how is the game supposed to present it? Of course, playing with an open world. Preferably in a big city. We're starting to generate similarities anyway. We cannot force Spider-Man to moving on foot just because we want to avoid similarities with other superhero games. Xbox said Spider-Man is copying Batman. Strange, I expected Riss Son of Rome, but okay, Spider-Man copied Batman Rocksteady games. The combat system is similar. However, I do not remember a single comic book or movie where Batman is the Spider-Sense. Yes, my dear viewers, Batman copied Spider-Man long before Insomniac's game appeared on the planet. The combat system known from Batman also wasn't created by Rocksteady team. Just Arkham series games made this system famous. Doesn't Batman in Arkham City just move like Spider-Man? Think about it. Instead of using spider webs, he uses hooks. Instead of acrobatics, he uses gliding. I also do not remember Batman preferring to jump on the roofs. Batman moved from place to place with Batmobile or Batwing. Jumping on the roofs is more Spider-Man's domain. The last objection are mini games. These are actually similar, but it also results from the similarity between the characters. Both Peter Parker and Bruce Wade are gadgets fans and well-educated people. The fact that Spider-Man can hack electronics shouldn't surprise anyone who knows this character. One more elf use bots.
Number 10. Real downgrade.
Xbox accused Insomniac of lying that the material on E3 2017 was just a CGI movie. Didn't bother them that people who had already played the game appeared in opposition to them. Even on YouTube, you can find movies where you can see off-screen recordings, which confirms that people could play the discussed demo. However, the Xbox deny it all, in the face of the ridiculousness and the wave of criticism. Coffee, Kid Mooch, and some other bots decided to change the narrative. Suddenly, they never talked about downgrade. They were talking about changes. They began to pretend they didn't know what downgrade means in regards to the video game. Coffee and Kid Mooch, social media video game experts, didn't know what downgrade means. Yeah, for sure. What is the downgrade term mean? Perfectly explained another developer. The creators of the famous Glitch Festival, also known as the partially unfinished beta game, in short, PUBG. A game that Xbox still considers as their exclusive, although it is available on PC, phones, and tablets, and when developers finish the game, will also be released on PS4. PUBG Corporation has officially downgraded their game. Here's the official developer's statement.
Xbox One X performance. We wanted to let our players know that we are aware of frame rate issues on the Xbox One X, and that this is a top priority for us. We understand the frustration that this is causing, and we will be deploying a hotfix on September the 18th to implement some changes that will help with this issue. This hotfix will include toning down many of the graphical settings on the Xbox One X. This includes the following changes. Shadow quality, both dynamic and static, lowered. Post-processing. Turn off motion blur. Decrease quality of screen space ambient occlusion SAO. Turn off depth of field. Turn off lens flare. Decrease eyes adaptation quality. Effects. Turn off screen space reflection SSR. This is the reflection from windows and such. Turn off refraction. Turn off subsurface scattering SSS. Turn off particle light. Lower the number of particles created. The resolution and textures will remain the same. We wanted to maintain the quality in overall visuals, so to minimize the difference, we only reduced very specific detailed graphics options like shadowing and reflection.
And Xbots cried about one missing puddle in Spider-Man.
Xbox's Aaron Greenberg says, Xbox player base is made up of more hardcore gamers.
And I'm playing it on easy, by the way.